Why exactly is this considered the CIA's most powerful surveillance weapon to date? Well, it has the ability to track and lock on the
So basically, this is a weapon, not weapon, but a device they used to find
On April 2026,
a
this
missing
concept
pilot
became a reality.
that was in
With this
Ireland like a
classified
couple
tech,
days ago.
U.S. forces didn't even need
He was
a radio
lost.
signal. They could
You
locate
know
a
what I'm
single
saying?
man
That
hidden in a cave from
They was
40
able to
miles
pinpoint
out,
him
just by zeroing in
some
on
way.
his heartbeat.
You know what I'm saying?
Our 3D
Give some
animators
type of
created a
technology off of
simplified model of this overclocked
CIA
system to
more
show how it works.
With technology
It
like
uses
that.
engineered synthetic diamonds to create a long-range quantum sensor. Strapped to a helicopter, it can detect the tiny electromagnetic pulse of a beating heart from miles away. So why use this specific technology to find the missing weapons system officer instead of the usual tech? Well, it is because infrared cameras and satellites are completely useless when your target is buried deep inside a mountain. In short, the CIA can now track your actual heartbeat. If you're a friend, this tech could be the lifeline that brings you home. But if you're the enemy, not even the caves or the desert can hide you anymore. How the US deployed the CIA's secret weapon. In early April 2026, the CIA pulled the curtain back on a terrifyingly advanced piece of technology. The mission: to rescue a downed F-15 East Strike Eagle weapons systems officer, known to the public only as Dude 44 Bravo. To find him, the U.S. military mounted highly classified heartbeat scanning technology onto Black Hawk helicopters and HC-130J Combat Kings to sweep the battlefield. Developed by Lockheed Martin's legendary Skunk Works, the system is officially based on quantum
Okay,
magnetometry.
so that's a duality between the weapon, bro, or not a weapon, but the device. It could be found to find somebody too as well. You know what I'm saying? But I've been seeing like comments as well. People talking about this. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. Like missing people. You know what I'm saying? Like basically use this shit to find missing people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I won't see why not. That's two birds, one stone type deal situation.
But in the field, it goes by a much cooler name, Ghost MurMur. This secret weapon allowed U.S. forces to find a man hiding in a cave from up to 40 miles away, simply by listening to his heartbeat. The implications are staggering. Imagine you're an enemy combatant or a fugitive hiding deep in the desert. With one sweep, this technology can pinpoint your exact location, even through solid rock. So how exactly does it work? To understand Ghost MurMur, you have to look at the physics of the human body. Every single time your heart beats, your muscles depolarize, generating a faint electromagnetic field. Normally, a doctor has to place sensors directly onto your bare chest just to read it. Ghost MurMur takes that concept and scales it up to a battlefield level using long-range quantum magnetometry. The core of the system relies on microscopic, engineered defects inside synthetic diamonds known as metrogen vacancy centers. At the quantum level, these defects are hypersensitive to even the smallest fluctuations in magnetic fields. When mounted on a helicopter, these quantum sensors cast a massive, invisible net over the landscape, registering the microscopic electromagnetic footprint of a human heart from miles away. But there is a catch. A quantum sensor is almost too good. It absorbs everything. A modern battlefield is flooded with electromagnetic noise. The Earth's natural magnetic fields, solar radiation, enemy radar, and radio chatter. If you look at the raw data, it's just pure static. To actually find the pilot, Ghost MurMur relies on heavy-duty artificial intelligence processing engine. This AI is trained to do exactly one thing: recognize the precise clinical rhythm of a human heart, the murmur. It acts as an aggressive filter, discarding mountains of background interference to isolate that single repeating signal. As one source familiar with the program put it, it's like trying to hear a single whisper in a packed stadium, except the stadium is 1,000 square miles of desert. When Dude 44 Bravo went down, he spent roughly 36 hours in hiding. You might be wondering, why not just use satellites to capture his heat signature? The answer is simple. If he's hiding deep inside a cave system, traditional cameras and thermal trackers cannot penetrate those hardened structures. So this is the perfect time to use the Ghost MurMurs in the southern Iranian desert, provided the perfect testing ground for this new tech. It's a low-clutter environment with almost zero electromagnetic interference and very few competing human biological signatures. Ghost MurMur is also entirely passive. It doesn't broadcast a signal, it simply reads the environment. The downed airman...
Y'all better use this shit to find missing people, bro.
As long as his heart
Oh
was
God,
beating, he was a
this be a
beacon
very
CIA
good,
monitor. When the sun
useful
set and
tool.
the desert temperature, the heart
Or just
goes
like,
for
you know what I'm
locating an
saying?
asset that had effectively disappeared. During the rescue, a lot of people were asking, why would the US willingly destroy a $200 million plane? Well, the destruction of that C-130 in the Iranian desert is a stark reminder of just how unforgiving modern special operations can be. The Ghost MurMur hardware and the highly classified CIA tech packed inside these aircraft are so advanced and so vital to national security that the planes themselves become completely expendable. To the US military, deliberately burning hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment isn't a failure. It's a necessary sacrifice to keep American secrets in the dark, deny the enemy a massive technological windfall, and most importantly, bring American
If this not alien tech, I don't know what to say.
personnel home alive. Now you might be asking, why did the weapon
had them crashes back in the day? They probably did type stuff like be able to get somebody a heartbeat from like so many mile radius type deal, you know what I'm saying, just to find one person in the mountain.
It's a necessary sacrifice to keep American secrets in the dark, deny the enemy a massive technological windfall, and most importantly, bring American personnel home alive. Now you might be asking, why did the weapons system officer not just use a radio or a coded signal to broadcast his location? The reality is that Iranian signals intelligence is much more sophisticated than most people realize. They have dedicated units specifically designed to hunt and track continuous broadcasts. When their F-15 was shot down by a surface-to-air missile, both crew members managed to eject, but the weapons system officer was injured in the process. His immediate objective? Get to higher ground. Despite his injuries, he hiked over 2 miles and scaled a 7,000-foot ridge line. While dodging capture, he managed to trigger his emergency beacon, pinging U.S. forces so they could begin tracking his location. But he couldn't just stay on the radio. His communication had to be sporadic if he transmitted too often. The IRGC's signals intelligence teams who were actively hunting his frequency would pinpoint his exact coordinates. In a hostile evasion scenario, a standard rescue beacon or a coded message isn't a lifeline. It's a homing beacon for the enemy. And that is exactly why the Ghost MurMur is the perfect tool for tracking a soldier behind enemy lines. To buy the downed officer time, the CIA launched a massive disinformation campaign inside Iran. They started leaking rumors that US forces had already found the WSO and were attempting to smuggle him out on the ground. It worked perfectly. This phantom ground exfiltration successfully diverted Iranian military resources and attention completely away from the action. If you're looking to upgrade your digital defense system, you need to check out this military-grade VPN. Think of Surfshark VPN as your frontline defense.
Man.
It scans and detects threats, alerting you to thousands of
Thank
dangers.
God, bro, that you survived, bro. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for the people that's fighting this war. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my soldiers. Shit, they've been wanting to kill American people for so long. Type shit. Is that people close to them? What they made a human shield, like putting arms together and going around the power plants and stuff so they can stop shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it would be like a civilians type deal. So I'm glad they came to a negotiation.
Despite the odds, U.S. Special Forces successfully in helicopters navigated the jagged landscape below radar level and reached their objective, establishing a defensive perimeter around the wounded WSO.
That shit crazy.
But time was up. Just as they prepared to grab him and get out, the horizon started moving. IRGC ground forces, popular mobilization units, and local militias were rapidly converging on their exact location. What happened next was an absolute slugfest, a massive hours-long firefight. Despite the odds, U.S. Special Forces successfully in helicopters navigated the jagged landscape below radar level and reached their objective, establishing a defensive perimeter around the wounded WSO. But time was up. Just as they prepared to grab him and get out, the horizon started moving. IRGC ground forces, popular mobilization units, and local militias were rapidly converging on their exact location. What happened next was an absolute slugfest. A massive hours-long firefight erupted right in the middle of the day. Look at this ridge. They were surrounded, taking fire from all sides. U.S. operators laid down a withering wall of suppressive fire. The commandos locked down a 360-degree defensive perimeter, guns up, air cover overhead, designed to annihilate any IRGC element that stepped within range. But it was the loitering U.S. aircraft overhead that truly tipped the scales. To keep the extraction corridor from collapsing, American air power continuously hammered the advancing Iranian units. Assets like the A-10 Thunderbolt rained hellfire down on them. The sheer volume of close air support from the A-10s, Little Birds, and Black Hawks pounded the surrounding Iranian positions, taking a heavy toll and resulting in reported casualties across areas like CSAR and Kakan. That air support bought the ground teams the one thing they needed most: seconds. But one of the most dangerous electronic warfare comes from the disc-shaped objects attached to this Black Hawk helicopter. While the Pentagon hasn't officially disclosed the specific hardware, military experts often call this a soft kill system. So how does it actually work? To understand the weapon, you first have to look at what it did.
How long we got left on
The
the
most
war?
likely candidate for a weapon that creates that kind of internal pressure
Somebody said this
sounds
COVID
a
2.0.
high-power microwave device. It relies on something
Gas prices high as fuck. But swear to God, they had pipelines. Shout out to all them folks trying to hold it down too as well. Like,
pulse microwave energy, not sound waves that passes
no,
right
like
through
a
the
couple years back, and like oil pipeline, people trying to stop like land from getting used by corporations and stuff like that. I think like I gotta do my research, but it's somewhere like on Indian reservations, close to them areas and stuff like that. They got like oil that lasts for like 100 years. Just don't understand like why they not using that and got us paying for some of that system.
skull. These beams are absorbed by the water in the brain tissue and the fluid in the inner ear. This energy causes a minuscule rapid heating of the tissue, less than 1 degree Celsius. But that tiny sudden expansion generates a pressure wave inside the skull. The consequence? The target hears a sound, clicks, buzzing, or a roar that originates inside their own head, bypassing the eardrums entirely. If the frequency is tuned to the resonance of the inner ear, it violently disrupts the body's balance, causing immediate vertigo. At higher power levels, that rapid tissue expansion can rupture capillaries, leading to the reported nosebleeds and internal trauma. There is another possibility: a weaponized infrasonic pulse emitter. Instead of a continuous beam, this device would fire high-intensity slugs of low-frequency air pressure below 20 Hz. These waves travel through the body and match the resonant frequency of internal organs like the stomach or lungs. High-intensity infrasound can actually cause cavitation, the formation of bubbles in bodily fluids. When those bubbles collapse, they create tiny shock waves that damage tissue. The target feels an intense vibration in their gut, leading to severe nausea and effectively paralyzing them with pain and sickness. Tactically, the report suggests U.S. forces use this technology as the ultimate force multiplier. The result was that the hundreds of Venezuelan guards mentioned in the reports weren't fought in a traditional gun battle. They were incapacitated, sick, dizzy, and bleeding, long before U.S. troops made contact. This allowed a small team of approximately 20 operators to walk virtually unopposed through a much larger force. We make original videos from scratch and animated by humans, so please subscribe to not miss a beat.
Is the first and only this is real life. Designed specifically to prevent it. I mean, my grandfather probably never knew they had shit like that. He probably did, and they probably said it was conspiracy. Make sure to subscribe, bro.